Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Realness Challenge, day 31. Today is the last day, and it's been fun. Learned a lot, just kind of about myself and my friends that participated. Had fun, just kind of putting myself out there a little bit. Overall, it was a good challenge. So I wrote some names down that I want to read off. Buddha, Tank, Dragon, Divine, Roddy, Brown Eye, Itty Bitty, Jackalope, Ham, Country, Big Daddy, Foot, Joe Bags, Zed, Gravy, Chiggers. Sketch. So my realness challenge is my name. A lot of people have asked me, oh, where'd you get, is that your real name? No, it's just the only name I've really gone by until recently when Facebook kind of outed me and made me use my real name. But it's the name I've gone by since I was in the Marine Corps. And I usually tell people it was a nickname I picked up in the Marine Corps. That is not untrue, but that's just the easiest way to tell the story. And I've told a few people the real story, but there's only a few people that know. And, your name is a big part of your identity. We're given our names. But in my case, I didn't have anything wrong with my birth name, which is Philip. From a standpoint of the name Philip, the issue I had was that Philip represented a lot of things. Philip was a person at the time. Philip was a person I didn't like, who I wanted to be more than. And I'm not going to get into my life story in a 5-6 minute video, but suffice it to say that I don't like my birth name because it takes me back to a place where I was the very farthest thing from the best version of myself. So when I was in the Marines, that was that first step I took towards creating a better potential for myself. Fascinatingly enough, though, everybody is, cover and alignment, organization, everything's last names. Your identity is actually not as important as the mission, the military life. And all that is well and good and fine, and it was great, and it kind of stripped away a lot of the negative feelings I had about myself, or helped me push aside the past that I didn't like. And then I was just the Marine. I was just Ditty, right? Which, previous to that, you're all about your first name. In the military, it's all about your last name. You go out in town after putting in a lot of good hard work. You got that bond with all those dudes that you serve with. You get out in town, and then you start to get to know each other, and all those names I read off, those are just a few of the ones that came to mind that were buddies, where we all had. That's how we would create our identities outside of the primary mission of being a Marine and being Corporal so-and-so and Sergeant this and that, and hey, Ditty, do this, work and party up, go pick up cigarette butts, for 2 hours. I need a warm body, right? You get referred to as numbers, warm bodies. The life and the interpersonal aspect of it is not the first priority. So you get out in town with everybody and you get to know each other. And I had a real good group of friends at the time: Buddha, Divine, Itty Bitty. And I don't remember all of the details, but early on at some point the conversations came up around nicknames, and I think it was when we were going to get tattoos, right? And it's hard to see here, but I have my name right here with these symbols, and a couple others of us in the group, Buddha being one of them, went and did the same thing. And I remember us having this conversation about nicknames or whatever, and just kind of dudes were going around saying what their nickname was, and I was stressed because I didn't have a nickname. I had Flipper that my dad used to call me when I was a kid, right? Awesome name, no issues. That's my dad and my thing. But in the Marine Corps, Buddha, Divine, right? Like these guys have Dragon, Brown Eye, Flipper. No, it's not happening. I didn't identify as a Flipper. So I exploited a gray area. I had realized when I joined the Marine Corps that I could be anyone I wanted to be. I could no longer have to be identified as the person I was trying to escape when I joined the Marines. And I realized nobody knew to validate, right? Not that I wasn't living a disingenuine life, but I no longer had to be held down by the things I felt like had falsely identified the first 19 years of my life, right? And so being an artist, I just threw out the name Sketch. And I don't remember if we had much of a conversation around it with my buddies, but it was like, yeah, my friends call me Sketch. Nobody called me Sketch. Nobody called me, and all you Barstow people know me as Philip. No other nicknames. I think for a short time I tried to go by my middle name at one time, which is Scott. Anyway, and then we went and got tattoos, and then Sketch became my identity, and it's been my identity since. And the truth behind the name Sketch is that in the art world, a sketch is a rough drawing. It's a series of setup lines or a doodle that expresses a thought or a concept, or helps you start to work out what a final vision is going to be. And for me, the name Sketch meant just that my life is a work of art, and that I knew in that moment that whatever I was going to end up being, which I'm now in the middle of, 20 plus years later, but I knew that I got to start over. I got to be something. I got to be something I could perhaps design and create, and I could play with that. I could work it out. That's what life could be, but I didn't have to be a victim or a bitch or any of the other issues and challenges that I had that identified with the name Philip. And so I always thought it was terrible to ever admit to anybody when they'd ask, Sketch Ditty, that's such a cool name. I hear that a million times, man. Is that your real name? No. Is it a nickname? Yeah, I got it in the Marine Corps. I'm not gonna, there was no more thought in it than that. I told a white lie. I created my own identity, and I've built a life as Sketch. I still allow some of my friends from back in the day to call me Philip or Phil, and of course my family, right? I wouldn't ask them to call me out of my birth name, especially my mom and dad who gave me that name, right? But I'm Sketch. I've gone back and forth at certain points in my life and my career. When I got out of the art industry and got into more of a IT role, like, maybe I should change it. I got a lot of support from the employers that hired me that said, no, you're Sketch. Let's keep it. That works. We like it, right? And now, 42 years old, I'm Sketch. And but that's the real story behind my nickname, and why I chose it, and I guess all that part's in it. So that's how I'm going to end the Realness Challenge. I have some ideas of what I want to do next, but I'm going to give it another day or two and sort some things out, and then I'll start getting on it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining in and participating on the challenge. And even if you didn't participate, if you were watching me and my friends' videos that were doing this, if it at least got you thinking a little bit, that's really what it's about. Small goals, right? We don't have to make big statements. If our mind starts working and thinking on things, just go with it. You know what I mean? So there you go. Have a great day.